Donald Trump's first speech after the assassination bid. Remember, the other day at the Republican convention, it was Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance and his wife, Usha Chilukuri, who had spoken, the family members like son and granddaughter, and now Donald Trump is arriving. This is with the family at the Republican Convention Center. It was the multi-day spanning convention center, and it is also in many ways about flexing muscles. That he appears to have survived an assassination attempt and has returned stronger. So let's dip in now to the visuals coming in of Donald Trump. And what will he say? Will he, because for now it appeared, earlier the speech was to target and talk about Biden policies. But now, after what unfolded with regard to the shooter targeting him, he narrowly escaping, will most of the speech focus on that, on what he says was a complete unreal situation? Look at these live visuals on your screens. A smiling Donald Trump, and of course, I'm sure you've not missed it. It's the bandage on the right ear. Now, remember that the bandage, as much as for the injury as is about a political projection. It's very clear. A huge bandage on his right ear. There was a full-on debate point of how the bullet narrowly missed him. His critics said the ear wasn't even hit. It was the glass from the teleprompter that had broken. So all sorts of discussions have been going on what happened with Donald Trump. But having known Donald Trump, who's whether it's regard to one of the biggest businessmen in the USA or a reality television star, he knows how television works. He knows about the image, the projection, and he's fully aware of how that assassination attempt has become the talking point. Has it made Donald Trump's return much stronger? You're looking at some of the candidates or some of the supporting voices that have come in. Remember, if Democrats have their own share of supporters, specifically when it comes to the film industry celebrities, so does Donald Trump, and those in support of him are coming forth. Remember that it would not be about just the red and the blue states. It's also about specifically the swing states, the states where you can manage to, with more effort, reaching out, promises to possibly bring a change. Is that what Donald Trump is going to focus on? So in just a short while, we are expecting the speech to begin. Remember, this is the biggest global story because what Donald Trump says could actually set the tone for the next few months ahead of presidential elections in November. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, is joining me for the latest on that. Geeta, how interesting do you think this speech is going to be? Because otherwise it would have been primarily about targeting Biden. Do you think assassination attempt will form a larger chunk of this speech?
Well, it certainly will be part of the speech. He is going to make a political point by bringing that up. It is a very important part of now how the Republicans are strategizing and taking forward the campaign. Look at an interesting, visual from the convention, Pooja. You can see people wear the bandage. Now, that ear bandage has become a fashion statement. That a lot of people in the crowd are also wearing a bandage in their right ear. Not just endorsing, because of course it's the Republican National Convention, they're all Republicans, but also coming out largely in support of Donald Trump and reminding the country of what really happened to him. So yes, it is going to be part of the political narrative. It is something that Donald Trump is going to make a mention of. He is going to talk about the larger issue of security as well. But more importantly, this is also going to be a moment where he's going to talk about what is important for Republicans in making America great once again. So it is not just MAGA, it's making America great once again. The tagline with which he's actually moving forward. There are going to be very interesting aspects into in what he's going to say. This is going to be his first speech after the incident. So it is significant, it is important, but it's the Republican National Convention which finally chooses who is going to be the Republican candidate, and it is Donald Trump, and his running mate is Vance. So he is going to talk about J.D. Vance, about himself, why he's chosen J.D. Vance, what the country can look forward to, and surely enough, he is going to take digs at President Biden, which is all very, very interesting. But look at the people who've come out in support. We have journalists like Carlson, who was on stage speaking. We have well-known wrestlers like Hogan, who's also on stage right now.
In fact, Geeta, that's what I was noticing. You know, it took me a while, but I did realize that it was, in fact, the retired now, but a professional wrestler who we have all known for years. I mean, decades earlier when he used to fight, Hulk Hogan, and we'll go across to that visual again in just a short while. So, like as Geeta is also telling us, that there is clearly a lot of support that's coming. Not just, remember, if Biden has celebrity faces, Geeta, so does Trump as well. Tucker Carlson on one side, then Hulk Hogan as well, who should be, I'm guessing it is 70s now. But it clearly shows, Geeta, isn't it, that many who may think that there's a lot of criticism against Donald Trump, the fact is there are a lot of celebrity faces in support of him.
Oh, absolutely. There are many who are Republicans, but they're Republicans. They always have been, irrespective of who the leader was. There was a lot of division within the Republicans, particularly in Hollywood, when Trump took over. But doesn't take away from the fact that there are still a lot many who come out in support. Interestingly, you have a British politician known for his extreme views, who is also right now in Milwaukee. Nigel Farage, after making a spectacular debut in UK politics and the Parliament, his 8th attempt, and he finally is a member of Parliament, he is now in Milwaukee, out there to support his friend Donald Trump. So yeah, support coming in from various quarters, and it is going to be very interesting. We all thought that this is going to be an event which will culminate with Donald Trump's address, and he was supposed to begin some time from now.
Geeta, you know, I noticed as we are looking at these visuals, of course there are supporters and there are political voices with this family. And J.D. Vance also, when he'd come, it was Usha, the wife, who was introducing them. Full-on, you know, diversity, or the Indian immigrants, they're not shying away from it. They are adding on to it. They're adding the whole family angle. Granddaughter was also speaking at the convention. So is it the whole, we are family, we are as much diverse, possibly like the Democrats? Do you think that's also the strategy at play here, apart from, of course, targeting Joe Biden's policies here?
Well, it is. He is showing a lot of diversity, but irrespective of who J.D. Vance's wife was going to be, he would have chosen his VP candidate depending on where the support comes from. There were a lot of very important billionaires who actually lobbied for J.D. Vance, which includes Peter Thiel, and is the reason why we are looking at J.D. Vance, who could very well be the youngest vice president of the United States of America. A very young man, and yes, it's great to have that India Connect. We do know that she's largely and deeply, her family is from Andhra Pradesh, and she is connected to India very, very closely. Yes, the fact is that the Republicans have shifted their conversation. Although if you listen to J.D. Vance from the stage yesterday, he actually spoke about how all jobs, all the good places of employment have been taken over by these people, these aliens who'd come from various parts of the world, and that was strange, interesting, but also the fact that this is something that the Republicans talk about. The conversation has shifted from being anti-immigrant completely, because they're showing a lot of diversity, to becoming anti-illegal immigration. And that's what they focus on, that these people who come...
Geeta, that sounds fair. I would say that sounds fair than generalizing and targeting all. But in just a short while, as Geeta is also telling us, what will be the focus? of Donald Trump's speech. Remember why this is crucial is, and if you're wondering that this is about domestic politics of the USA, why would India care? It is as much about global alliances, global politics, because what Biden has to say as policy or what Donald Trump has to say as policy will reflect on their friendship and alliance with India as well. And let's be honest, it is one of the biggest global powers, and whoever leads USA could actually decide in many ways how the world is also run. Geeta, as you continue to be with us, we are on standby in just a short while. We are expecting because he's arrived and he's on the stage right now. In fact, we're getting updates that in the next few seconds possibly he'll start to speak. What do you think precisely at this point are the chances for Trump? Do you think it is a close contest? Do you think it's heading close for Donald Trump because of Joe Biden's age and incoherence issues, all of that? Or do you think perhaps Americans are still deciding, they're not yet sure which way this could go?
No, the Democrats, Pooja, are not going to vote Republicans. It is going to be a close fight. It's not going to be the shift, as happens in many other countries, particularly parliamentary democracies, is not how it works in the United States of America. You have a very clear Republican vote bank and you have a very clear Democratic vote bank, and then you have the swing states where people can go either way. And in that, there are many who are not decisive. There are many who have decided the other way because of the mental health questions of the current president. But we're also given to understand that this is the Republican National Convention. The Democratic National Convention will take place on the 19th of August. There's still time for Democrats to decide. But there isn't enough time for Democrats to really fight a Republican candidate such as Donald Trump, should they decide so late in the day in August, when there'll be very little time for that candidate to really campaign. Now, there are some reports that are saying that Joe Biden, after having fallen ill, taken ill because of COVID-19, could announce withdrawal. Now, these are just reports that are coming in from various US media quarters. There is no confirmation there. But should he withdraw, there will be either an open convention or a closed convention. If it's a closed convention, then Kamala Harris will be. And interestingly, Pooja, Kamala Harris has already started campaigning, by the way, because she has to take the place of Joe Biden in all those places where rallies were scheduled, and the president will not be attending those rallies. So Kamala Harris was seen campaigning. So if it's a closed convention, it's Kamala Harris. If they open the convention, it's Kamala Harris and maybe 3 more other names.
Yes.
Again, too late in the day, but Biden will have to take a call whether if he's going to be the candidate or not.
Because eventually, is it about Biden or is it about Democrats winning? Because that will have to be decided for these parties. And
exactly, there is a lot of pressure.
Absolutely, I'm sure. And with the celebrities who've started to come forth, and I think George Clooney also, who's once been a friend and an ally, has given out a statement. And so just stay on, because in a short while we'll have Trump speaking. And I can't help but notice on one side Kamala Harris, on another Usha Shilukuri. They may or may not do anything for the Indian community or India, but the fact that there is some Indian connect, it also shows the work, the contribution that the Indian immigrants specifically have done in USA. But just to give you a background, what's happening at this point? Remember, while Trump is the focus for Republicans, what about the Democrats? Because there is criticism, there are voices coming in that Joe Biden should step away now from the White House race. Top allies, either publicly or privately, have called on him to step aside. Major donations have fallen off a cliff. Former President Barack Obama appears to have, according to reports, privately expressed concerns to Democrats about President Joe Biden's candidacy. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi also has appeared to have warned Joe Biden, and again privately, that Democrats could lose the ability to seize control of the House if he does not step away from 2024 race. And all of this, remember, has come after the presidential debate that happened. Celebrities like George Clooney, for example, who's been one of the close aides, allies, who in fact has organized a lot of fundraisers for him, has also come out to say it's time for him possibly to take a step back.